dashboard in the scheduling channel if you'd like to follow along, and scroll down to the part where it says Sprint 11 closing update and retrospective with today's date, Monday, July 19th. It's highlighted in yellow. So for our check-in, I thought we could share what energy are you holding today and why are you here? And let's see. Notion wants me to log in so I can take notes. Let's see if it's going to be easy to do this. 1 second. Okay. We'll just... Okay. So what energy are you holding this morning or this afternoon for Donna? And why are you here? So I can share. I just rose like an hour ago. I have a lot of back-to-back calls this morning, so I think I'm feeling focused. Or I desire to be focused. That's the energy I want to hold this morning. And I'm here to get an update on our remaining priorities from Sprint 11 and just see how much we were able to complete and what might need to be rolled over to Sprint 12. And then just to kind of allow some time at the end for us to debrief and consider like what went well in this sprint and maybe what we might want to do differently as we enter our next sprint and do some planning for that tomorrow. I will pass it to you, Ashley.
I woke less than an hour ago. My energies are still a bit mixed, but they're clearing up, and I'm not really sure what energy I'm holding right at the moment. I'm surprised that I'm not more tired this early, but yeah. I'm here because I want to just check in with how much we got done last sprint, maybe what our focus might shed a light on what our focus is for next sprint. And just kind of see like how the DAP node thing went. I know that was one of our big dependencies as far as our launch was to see kind of like how their launch went. And so just maybe touch base with how that affects us in the future. And I think that's about it. And I'll pass it to Donna.
Hi guys. My energy is I feel energetic and motivated today. And although I haven't had that much sleep yesterday, but and I'm here to shadow forest and to see how these meetings are managed. And that's it. So I pass it to Lauren.
Hey everybody, my energy today, I'm feeling focused and present, and for the call, I mean, I guess I kind of just want to like continue pushing things along with Give. I noticed, I'm just looking now, and Marco had updated some Give drop prototype stuff. So like I know design is one of the things that we're working on, and anyway, so I'm also just like here to just like be in the loop. We're kind of missing Griff and Willie, and so maybe we'll have a shorter call, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to talk about, and I'll pass it back to Forrest.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. That's awesome to note, Lauren. Maybe we can review those updated files and just kind of take a quick look and then see what next steps we want to take, or like if we want to give individual feedback, or if we want to schedule like a follow-up session with him to review. So I believe everyone that's on the call was on our Sunday community call. So no need to double iterate what Griff shared about the DAP node launch. But the notes are here in the agenda if you would like a refresher. And then in red, you can see the link for the Notion doc, where if you are going through testing UI and UX, which I know you've already done quite a bit, Ashley may have as well. But if it's your first time, like Donna, if you're going to do some testing, just capture your notes and your feedback of what that experience is like in this document, so we can share it with DAPnode, and also so we can collect that feedback for ourselves, because we will largely be adapting from what DAPnode has done. So really good for us to see like ways that we can improve. Anyone on the call who is more in the loop with DAPnode have any further updates about how the launch is going?
Yeah. So they launched the token and they did the node drop. The issue that they ran into, I'm just reading the notes from the community call. It looks like it's mostly here, but it seems like they missed people who donated ETH on Gitcoin, and so then there's a lot of people who are a little bit upset about that because, they kind of wanted to push things out pretty quickly. So like, I guess didn't like double check. There was a miscommunication in like kind of who they were airdropping to, like how much people had to donate on Gitcoin. So they're kind of like working right now in the process of that, but they're having to redistribute tokens from what they allocated for the association, like the DAPnode Association, for themselves to like satisfy these like upset node drop people who like should have gotten a node drop or were communicated to that they would get a node drop. So they're kind of having a little bit of a difficult time right now, but it seems that liquidity mining is working fine, and I think that's really like the only issue. But they just released a post about it today, explaining the situation and what they're doing. Or maybe it was yesterday, but I read it today. And yeah, so that's all I know about that.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, and I imagine, maybe some of these people who were missed or peeved from miscommunication around the airdrop with Gitcoin are probably some of the same people that we outreach to, letting them know about our launches and things. So I would just encourage us to like double, triple check everything and make sure that we're not repeating the same kind of things.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think the main difference between like kind of what we did and what they did is like we made it so that you have to donate to at least 2 Gitcoin rounds in order to become eligible for the airdrop. Also, it like cut off at Gitcoin round 8. So it's like anyone who donated in 9 and 10 don't get the airdrop, like when we were already sort of talking about the token. So DAPnode included all of the rounds, and they didn't have like 2 or more. So it's like a lot of airdrop hunters who like just donated like 50 cents worth of whatever, like didn't get the airdrop. And so there's like all these people who are a little bit up in arms about it because they're like, oh, I should have got an airdrop. So it's yeah, but I think it's good, and like this is a good lesson. It's like you can't please everybody, and also like to double check everything. But we did a really thorough job of like sussing out everybody who's getting the airdrop. So I think we're going to be safe in this. We're not going to have the same issue.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, we've certainly been working on it for a while and had a lot of different eyes on it. Okay, cool. Good update. Thank you. So then digging into our Sprint 11 priorities and where we're at with the various things. I mean, just from an initial like run through, it seems like we have accomplished quite a number of our priorities. I feel like this sprint, we were more realistic in what we set out to do. Sometimes we just like kind of keep rolling over like this long to-do list. But I think this time we were really thinking, what are we able to accomplish in just under 2 weeks? So the first one was to begin onboarding Donna, which I've put a nice little green check mark through. She and I have had 2 private onboarding sessions, and Donna has already begun joining some of our calls and shadowing and listening in. And we've gone pretty in depth about like different tools and scheduling and intentions of meetings and how we're building agendas and things like that. So yeah, I feel like that's going pretty well. And that's something that obviously we'll continue onboarding over the next month or so. So that can roll over, but I still think it's a good check mark. The next one is around design. We specifically wrote in for the priority to be around the Givebacks dashboard and UI UX. But I think we wound up putting like a couple of sub bullets of design here. So I'm using this little horse back riding jockey emoji to show the ones that we're still like sprinting towards, but we're making progress on. So as we discussed in our last economy call, most of the design for Givebacks is done. We've got our project verification badge. We have been having some design sessions with Marco and like going through Figma files and reviewing things with Tian, and it felt like one of those sessions we had was definitely more of like an alignment call to make sure everyone was on the same page with like the way that users are flowing throughout the platform and like the intention behind the different pieces of the economy. So like at times we dug more into design, and at times it was more just like making sure that the designers are actually aligned with what the intention of what we're creating is. I have this, let me just pull this up and see if this is the one that you're saying, Lauren. He's made some updates to.
Yeah, he just posted in the design channel, it seems like
okay.
Today at 4:57 a.m. So it looks like this is actually for the airdrop.
Okay,
it's
cool.
super pretty. I did a lot of like I put a lot of like content edits, like so changed a lot of the wording, and he incorporated all of it. It's super cute. Yeah.
No, that's not it. Updated the give drop prototype. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And added 3 options. It's looking good. Yeah, I think we're really like, I mean, in the sprint we've been like, we moved along. We did move forward with design. Like Marco had set the deadline of like last Friday for like feedback on this. So then he just like went ahead and like finished it off. And so I think this is like going to be pretty much done for.
Yeah, this is looking really nice. Aww.
Are you eyeing because Chewy's with me now?
Is Chewy with you?
Chewy's?
I'm not looking at you.
Is that Griff?
Hey, Chewy!
I just see a cool poster in the background.
I know, it's super cool.
There we go. Okay, cool. So, I mean, everyone can take a look. Is Marco like still like receiving feedback on this updated file, or this is like the final one based on all the feedback he received over the last week?
I think he's probably still open to receiving feedback, but he did want he wanted feedback like last week, and then this is kind of like he modified it based on the feedback with the deadline he set. He also added like the last page. But I'm gonna go in and add some comments anyway today. I'm noticing like the give stream thing, it's like showing explicitly the amount that's in the stream, which I think that we don't really want to do. So I'm gonna add some comments, but it's looking nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, bueno.
if you look at if you try to do it with DAppNode, it's very like, oh, what? I just earned tokens for 3 years from now or something. Like even in the airdrop when you're claiming, you're like, oh, where did they go? Oh,
Yeah, it's disappointing. I know, I agree. I don't think we should do it like that.
Claim your flow.
Or like start your flow. Initiate your flow. Not even, it's like...
No numbers needed.
No. Well, flow rate. I think a flow rate is great.
Yeah, flow rate.
You're like, oh my god, every day I get 100 more give. Wow. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if there is, I want to make sure I've got all my like design notes for Marco organized here. So we've made great progress around give, drop, flow. We've got the updated prototype. We will share any remaining feedback with Marco today in this Figma file. And then as far as give backs, what further, like, are we feeling great about the UI and UX for give backs and the flow, the wireframe flow that we have there? Are we wanting to have like follow up calls scheduled like in the next week to continue moving things forward there? I know we talked about like developing a banner to promote like the claim page.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, sorry, Lauren, did Marco make progress on the givebacks at all? I don't think he has, right?
Not really on the givebacks, but that's because, like, I mean, he was like, what's needed for givebacks? We already have the badge and etc. But Tian had, like, made that, like, dashboard where you can see all of the different components of Give, including, like, givebacks. So, but I don't know if we're actually using that. So I think, like, syncing up with Marco and I think what would be useful is, like, if we get pretty clear, like, almost, like, list format of, like, the exact design things that are missing, like, and so like I can pour through some of that today, which I think would be fun. But like, yeah, like, okay, we want a banner, but like the badges are done and the verification thing is already done. So it's like, and the dashboard, I don't know if we're going to use it, but just like checking in on all these different points so that like Marco can have like a clear vision of what's outstanding.
Yeah.
We're missing right now.
I mean, I think that those are the things that we need to launch givebacks. I think eventually we will need some sort of dashboard to show people what givebacks they received and to communicate what they got. And, it's really just, it feels like it's more like expanding the My Donation.
Yeah, totally. I think that makes sense.
I think something, I don't know if you're planning on putting that information in like a Notion document or an issue, Lauren, but one thing that I want to bring up to add with project verification is it'd be really cool if there's a button on the project page that they can apply, and maybe even on the high five page, like once they created their project, maybe there's like a little thing that says, do you want to verify your project to be eligible so that your givers can get givebacks or whatever, just like a few of those small things with project verification. So
yeah,
make sure those get on there.
Great idea. Forrester, are you taking notes on this? I get confused in the sprint document. It's like at the bottom, right? I'm just wondering if I need to take notes.
Taking notes.
Okay.
I'm taking notes.
Cool. Okay, because Ashley's idea is a good idea. I don't want to forget.
Ashley, can you just repeat what you were sharing about project verification? I was updating a GitHub issue for Marco, like around some of this stuff, and I just want to make sure I didn't miss it.
Just like a button somewhere within the UI. I don't know if we want to put it on the project page or somewhere where project owners can access the application to get verified. So maybe, instead of in the place where the verified badge would be, it could say like verify your project with a link or something. And then maybe on the high five page, once somebody creates a new project, there can be an opportunity there. maybe some small things just to incorporate project verification into the flow.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, cool. Bueno, is there anything else that we want to touch on around design, the design priority?
I think that we really just need to keep taking notes on the DApp node airdrop and really like understand what we like least about it and what we like most about it. Like what was great about the airdrop too, you know, and like what we don't want to lose. And yeah, I think that's kind of the big goal, should be the big goal for the week, is take notes on, like, there's no better data. They're doing exactly what we're doing. So like, how do we make it better?
Yeah.
I think what Marco designed for our airdrop versus their airdrop is already like super different though. I mean, it's similar in that like they have like this like nice little quiz where you like walk through some steps in order to get to like your claim. And ours too, you like walk through some steps, but it sort of is like the give garden is this and the give backs are this. I don't know. Yeah, I like the interactive element of theirs, but ours is so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's also lots of little things, right? Like, one thing I really like is when you change the network, the pictures change in the background.
I like that.
You know, and there's these little details that we can find that we like or we don't like that we want to make sure we capture into our display.
Mm-hmm.
The macro level, obviously things are going to change huge, but the micro level too, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
And especially around any information you think is, you know?
Sorry, what?
Information that might be missing, like, oh, hey, they're not showing me how much liquidity is in the pool, or they're not showing me, you know, various other important information that I feel like I want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So another one of our sprint priorities, which obviously we accomplished, was to do a lot of testing for DApp node around the drop and liquidity mining. So that is obviously complete. Our next priority was around the governance proposal to approve the latest liquidity mining parameters. This was posted to the forum 2 weeks ago, so we've, thoroughly accomplished the advice process. I think Mitch and Willie shared feedback in there. The next step is to post the proposal on Aragon for official voting, with any adaptations that perhaps want to be implemented based on the feedback received from the advice process. I think we have this on our list to discuss in the governance call in 30 minutes also, right?
Maybe.
Was that one of...
I think because DApp node launched, we should really just wait to see how the transition is between the 2 weeks. Yeah, I think we should just wait and see. I don't know. I just don't know if there needs to be anything ratified by the DAO on this. I guess, oh yeah, that's right. We need to ratify the 10% in 5 years. That's what we wanted to ratify for sure and lock that down. I wasn't planning on I'm not going to be able to take any action on that, just so you know. Not this week in Paris.
No worries. So is posting the proposal to ratify the 10% in 5 years blocked at all by wanting to wait and see how transition is going with DApp node launching, or are the two things not super linked?
Yeah, they're linked only in that it's all one proposal. So like there's the 10% in 5 years, but then there's also the every week is the same distribution choice. And yeah, and I think that's the part that's blocked by seeing how it works with that node.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And then our next two sprint priorities were around like hack session on give token allocation percentages and road mapping, diving into like these future pieces around project curation and causes and whatnot. So those were completed. We've got notes from the hack sessions and also the live streams posted to the YouTube transparency channel. Project verification is a priority that is sort of ongoing. Ashley, do you want to take us through the latest update since we last spoke a week ago when we were talking about like the purple list still collecting addresses, but the verification form being done? I think you were going to like really send donations to certain addresses and then add them to Trace. Do you want to just kind of give us the latest on all that stuff?
Yeah, it seems like it's pretty much up to date. I did kind of have a little bit of a question as I'm going through and collecting these wallet addresses though. And that's with this purple list, if a project were to change their wallet address on Giveth.io to a new wallet address, would that automatically go onto this list, or is that something that we're gonna like? How can we track that?
What do you mean exactly? If they change their address on Giveth.io?
Yeah, like if I collect their current wallet addresses that they're using for fund management and then they add a new wallet address, you know, or if they go into their project and they put an address in there that's not currently on the purple list, or they want to start using a new wallet, is that something that can be added to the list automatically, or?
It should be able to be.
Okay, cool. Because that was one thing as I was going through.
When we're working with the devs to create the purple list, which by the way, I love purple list. We just need to we need to make that noted.
Okay, cool. Well, it's something I'll keep in mind. I had some other questions for the devs during the meeting tomorrow around project verification, so I'll bring that up there. But as far as progress, we're pretty much, it's all up to date in this document here of where we're at.
Okay, awesome. And Griff, did you have an opportunity since we last spoke to go through the campaigns and like double check the color coding on the spreadsheet for which projects are active and archived?
I did, and it's safe enough to go forward. I can't say that I spent like agonizing time. There were a couple that I'm like, this is on the line. I don't know. And I changed the colors of a few. But I think it's great. I think it's good.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I've been so absent on you, Ashley. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. I like feel bad sometimes because you're like, hound me, and then I try to hound you, and then you're like, I need this, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
I think the best way to hound me is schedule it and get the call.
Within your calendar. So if I just make an event in my calendar and I add you, it will bring yours up and show like the availability.
Yeah, but
okay.
That you probably will want to coordinate with me first. Like this week it wouldn't fly, but next week.
Yeah, really totally. I know that it's gonna be busy. You're gonna be busy this week, and it's okay. I'm just gonna keep chugging away at contacting people on the list and just get more information, the activity behind the campaigns and stuff. And Mateo said that it's not a blocker going forward on the dev side. So.
Yeah. when this topic's over, I want to transition to a topic I didn't add to the agenda.
Okay, is there anything else around project verification or like questions that you have that you need answered, Ashley, before we move on?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. So there's just 2 more points to the priorities. I would love to get through those, and then we can, transition to what you wanted to talk about, Griff. So the next one is around continuing to push gardens. So this, I can delete this because this obviously hatched. Griff, do you have any update around Give Garden, or I think last time you were going to see like what was deployed for TEC and kind of see how that's going, and like maybe we were going to redeploy. We already went through like and did a lot in our last governance meeting around getting more clarity on our governance process. And it sounds like you guys launched with like conviction voting and stuff for TEC. So yeah, just curious how that's going and what our next steps are for the Giveth Garden.
There is, I have no new updates other than we're kind of waiting for the Gardens team to decide that it's safe enough for mainnet. I think one thing that they're working on that we could like convince them to delay is like this onboarding thing, basically almost like what we're doing for the TEC with like designing your own commons with the like conviction voting and all that stuff. They're building something similar so that people can come in and like deploy their own like make decisions around conviction voting stuff. And so they're working on that now, but for us, that's not a blocker. So I'm just going to like, I'm going to see Sasha, who's a good friend of mine that I've known for years, who's like my main, and then Gabby. The leaders of Gardens are all my very good friends, which is nice. And so I just need to like convince them that they can launch without that. But I don't know if I can.
Okay, cool.
But thank you for the reminder. I'm glad that.
Yeah, and Gabby actually left a comment in one of the issues recently saying that they already did the deployment of the new token in the template and asking if he should go ahead and create another garden with the same Rinkeby setting that the last has.
That's interesting. Yeah, he should absolutely do that. Ashley, if you can, if you're down to follow that message and tell them that we would love a Rinkeby Gardens to play with the new settings, that would be amazing, because then we can test the connecting it to liquidity mining.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a comment in this issue and see if he responds. If not, maybe I'll reach out to him.
Sweet.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to put the little horse here. And our final sprint priority, which on our last Give economy call when we were running through the sprint priorities, we were like, we don't remember what exactly this meant. There wasn't a lot of context. It just said dynamic issuance rate. So Griff, now that you're on the call, I wonder if you have awareness of what we intended when we put this bullet here.
Yeah, so there is a huge open issue with our use of Gardens, and that is connecting it with the node stream for the tokens that exist. It's we have to really decide how we want to do it, and yeah, it's a little challenging exactly to know how to best deal with this technical issue. And the technical issue is basically that the way Gardens works right now, it says you have this dynamic issuance that mints tokens based off how much money the DAO has. And it's not like numerical value of dollars, it's like percentage of the total supply. So if the conviction voting DAO has 20% of the total supply, and we set a target of 25%, then tokens in the DAO, like the number of Give tokens the DAO has, will increase. We'll just print more Give tokens so that the DAO has closer to 25%. And if the DAO has 30%, then we will actually burn tokens that the DAO is holding so that the 30% goes down to 25%. And the problem here, though, is that the Give stream is holding a lot of tokens that don't really exist, but Gardens will think that they do. So we have to figure out how do we overcome that when there's like this node stream that will be feeding, the Give stream. The Give stream that will be feeding the DAO will be like an issuance for the DAO. And then this thing might also be printing money for the DAO. It's just like it's a very confusing situation. In a dream world, we would get what I've asked for from Gabby is if we can, but I didn't ask strongly enough months ago. But if we could get like a list of addresses that could be subtracted from the total supply, and then it wouldn't be an issue because it would just be like whatever is in the stream doesn't count. And if we could do that, then everything would work out really well. But in their code base, they just look at the total supply of the token. And so like there's no way to just subtract numbers. Like it's not a feature they have. We have to schmooze a little bit to get that feature.
Okay. That is really helpful context. And so what would you say is like our clear next step? Is it communicating with it's something that the Gardens team needs to resolve, or is it anything that like our developers can work on?
There is really nothing our developers can do. It's really just talking with Gabby and seeing if that can be a feature. I mean, Lauren, did you understand what I was saying? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Could I delegate a task to you to make an issue in Gardens that kind of says, make it so that the total supply can ignore make this. I mean, really, what it's the core issue is change the dynamic issuance from using the total supply to the circulating.
Yeah.
That's like the core.
Yeah. So you want me to make an issue in the Gardens repo? Okay. Just basically being like, we have this issue. Like, yeah. So. Yeah.
Saying, oh yeah, but we have the vesting contracts, and if we could just ignore some addresses, that would be cool.
Weren't
but
you
the
just
real
saying
thing
that's impossible, though? That they don't know how to do that? Or
no,
they
know
don't understand
how.
we need it?
They know that we need it, and they know how to do it. It's just that it's not a priority for them.
Oh, okay. I'll make an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, and the main thing is following up on it. I can make the issue, but I wouldn't follow up on it. So
totally, I can do it.
Okay, cool.
And you said, Griff, just so my notes are clear, change the dynamic issuance from using the total supply to the what supply?
Circulating.
Circulating supply.
That's the core of the issue.
Cool.
And maybe loop Donna in on this too, because this will eventually be Donna's job. I hope. Herding all these cats. I know it's your first day, basically, or second day.
I need Yeah, I'm trying to get a hang of it. So you have to just give me some, 1 week, 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, maybe
more, maybe 1 month. Yeah.
Probably a month, but yeah, we'll just start. The easiest thing is just to start looping you into all of these things, and the technical stuff, whatever, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
The bigger thing is starting the relationships as soon as we can, you know?
Yeah.
Amazing. And that is all of our sprint priorities. So it looks like about half of them, slightly more than half, totally complete. And about half of them, we made a lot of progress in this sprint, but there's still some ongoing work that is in progress. Griff, what was the other point that you wanted to bring up?
We just have the best opportunity ever right now. So DAppNode had a very challenging launch. And now there are a lot of people that are being kind of crappy in their Discord. And this is, there's various reasons like why they're justified in being like kind of crappy. Sorry, I need to get back. You know, but most of them are just like airdrop seekers. There's a lot of people who are out there donating on Gitcoin just so they can get more money later. They're not actually donating to support the cause. And then they come on Discord and they're kind of mean. And really what I see is an opportunity to have an experience to support, number one, like of course, help out DAppNode, but also understand what it is to launch a token. And the change that can happen in the Discord and get ready for it. So like we can help DAppNode in their community management. We can learn about what went wrong. We can make connections with people and practice our community management skills while really being a hero for DAppNode. So like yeah, I was hoping that maybe like everyone in this call who is interested could start spending some time in the DAppNode Discord and actually like raise the vibes a little bit, you know? You know, just like, you know, don't be mean to people or anything. It's like some people aren't going to get an airdrop and they're going to piss and moan and like, why not me? That's going to happen to us. It's going to happen to us, right? So like, you know, let's get some practice. It's kind of like a training ground, and also we get to help our friends. They're going to deploy for us, so it's a really good opportunity.
You mean like, what do you mean raise the vibes? Just like interact with people, like kind of respond to them, try to be helpful.
Say, I love DAppNode.
I love DAppNode.
I love DAppNode. Right now, Edu and Lansky, all these people are yelling at them, and they're like, they haven't slept, and they're just like, so sad and tired and they feel like failures, and you know, like it's a really tough day for them, you know. And if we can go in there and raise the vibe of their chat and like, you know, make some memes or like just show some love to the DAppNode community, it'll have a huge impact, you know.
Yeah.
And the people so it's really on Twitter and on Discord. Those are like the two main spots.
Yeah.
And so some background, read up on DAppNode, right? There's some blog posts that came out. So just if you read the blog posts, you'll know everything you need to know, really. There's like this update, and maybe what we can do is create a chat with Lansky, and we can be like the emergency support team. And Donna, I would love your help here too, because I think this is an important experience. Really, anyone who wants to just go in there and put some time in the Discord answering people's questions, making memes, or like and saying how great DAppNode is and how important the mission is. And like, okay, the airdrop wasn't perfect. They gave some people tokens, but they wanted to give other people tokens, and they haven't yet, but they want to. Like, shut up. They want to give free money away. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you being so angry? They're trying to give tokens away. Like, Like, no, don't say shut up, right? The best community management strategy is to just, if someone's being angry or mean, imagine that they're just really hungry. They're really good people, but they're hungry and they're in a bad mood, you know? And like, it's okay. Like, they don't mean it. They're just hungry. So it's okay. Like, give them a big hug. Tell them well, sometimes it's just not to respond. Sometimes you just don't respond, for sure. Other times, if people are asking real questions, the most important thing to remember is that you're not talking to them. You're talking to 100 great people who feel the same way this guy does with a different tone and are looking for your answer. And those other people are going to read it too. You're not talking to him. You're talking to everybody, you know, and lots of really good people. So yeah, it's an interesting opportunity to practice.
Okay, I'm gonna make a group DM with Lansky.
Oh wait, yeah. Can I make?
Oh,
it?
I just made one.
You make it.
Oh, I made one already, but I can delete it.
No, we can use yours. I mean, I don't care.
Discord.
I want to add. I already. Wait, did you make it a channel or a DM?
No, it's just a chat, a DM chat on Discord.
Did you add me?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Then I'll add Mount Manu too, because Mount Manu wanted to help with this as well.
Oh, there we go.
And Dabnode Community Love Channel. Love Squad, I love it.
Awesome. Okay. So beyond that, which I'm super stoked to do and practice some conscious communication, and maybe we can like launch mangoes and avocados at people who are super hangry. Do we want to take a few minutes and just kind of share like debriefing on Sprint 11, what we feel went well, major things we've learned, maybe what we want to do differently for this next sprint that we will plan for tomorrow. We don't need to outline our priorities for Sprint 12 quite yet, because we have time scheduled for that and kicking off tomorrow. But this is really just kind of an open discussion, couple of minutes for us to talk about like what we felt went well, major learnings, what we want to do differently next time, and just any general commentary that you have around how Sprint 11 felt for you.
At least for me, Sprint 11 was a little distracting. I actually am amazed that we made as much progress as we did during this sprint. Like, I don't know how that happened, but with this organization that is up here and things and the reminders and stuff, things just move, and it's really nice. Feels like a self-driving car, but it's not. It's Forrest helping us drive and making sure we're all on the road. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Yeah, I feel like medium good about this sprint. I'm happy that we're kind of moving along with design. I put some energy in there, and so I'm like happy that like, yay, cool. Like, it's nice to coordinate with Marco, and I feel like that's kind of a big thing that we need to work on next. So I'm looking forward to just kind of like continuing with that in the next sprint. But yeah, I'll pass it to Donna.
I'm just, I'm in the onboarding process, and I just want to test this app mode and to see what's going on and help you communicate this, market this to people and answer those hungry people. So just give me time to. Now I get my feet wet, but I need more time just to see how this economy works. So yeah, I pass it I pass it to Ashley.
I'm feeling pretty good about this sprint. I feel like we did make a lot of progress, and the priorities we didn't complete are things that are in progress and we're working on, and they're moving at the rate that they need to move at. So that feels pretty good. I don't know if there's anything right off the top of my head I would change moving forward into the next sprint. I feel like we have pretty good momentum, and just seeing keeping an eye on what happens with DAP nodes to see what we can learn there, making the notes about the give drop or the node drop or whatever it is, so that we can take those into consideration moving forward. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. And I think Forrest, you're last.
Yes, thank you. I felt like after taking a pause between Sprint 10 and Sprint 11, it was awesome for us to get clear on some structured things that we wanted to accomplish in this sprint. I also feel like for all the travel and other launches and, trace launch going on concurrently to a lot of the things that we set out to do on this team, we certainly were able to accomplish a lot. I think it shows the power of doing these working group sessions and hack sessions, taking detailed notes in our sprint dashboards, and then also following up on things in GitHub issues. So I feel like we're getting to a good, pretty organized place. And also it's cool because onboarding Donna is also helping me to explain things really clearly and succinctly with her, and just get stuff more and more organized as we go. I agree with Lauren that it was really nice to make some progress on the design stuff with Marco. We've been talking about all of these concepts from a mind place for a long time, and to be able to really see it visually and what this will look like on the application, and for people to flow through things is really super cool and helpful, and really brings it to life more. I think the main thing that I had talked to Griff about a few weeks ago, when we were kind of planning for my maternity leave and planning for bringing Donna on and onboarding her, is that a pain point I feel is not having the everyone that is joining these calls. It tends to be us visioning things and doing communications around stuff, and owning pieces like project verification, but not necessarily having all of the devs or being as linked up with DAP nodes. So I feel Griff is for sure the go-between on a lot of those things, and I hope moving forward, as Donna's onboarded more, she can also be communicating with those folks to take some of that pressure off of Griff, and also for her to be able to have more of an awareness and organization around what's going on from the technical side. Awesome. There's already so much going on in the Love Squad. Love it. I think that's all for me. Anything else that wants to be spoken and captured in this debrief? We have just a minute or two left.
I just have a quick question for you, Griff, before we're out of this call with the thing with Gabby for the Rinkeby garden. Do we want to do it with the same setting that the last one has, or do we want to change any of the setting?
I think we just use the same settings. We will change the settings, but I guess it's so hard because I definitely want to change the settings.
And this has to do with the dynamic issuance thing, yeah?
Yeah, the dynamic issuance, also the conviction voting. We need to actually, as a team, or at least have a couple people in with me to deciding some of these parameters. I think Mitch and Lauren are very deep, but we should present them and like talk to them. I think just use the same ones for now because what we really need to do is just test.
Okay. All right. We'll use the same ones for now, and then we'll think about what kind of things we want to change moving forward to the next deployment. That was it. That's all I have.
Amazing. Well, that brings us to the top of the hour, and our governance call is beginning, which I think is probably in this exact channel that we're in now. So probably some other folks will be joining us any moment. I see Marco. Hey, Marco. Yep. Awesome. Hi, Hannah. So yeah, we'll just close there. Thanks everyone for your time on this Sprint 11 call. And now we'll just give a moment for the rest of the team to join before we kick off our governance call.
Awesome. Thanks, Forrest, for leading such a productive call. I'm going to take a pause and go to the bathroom before we start this call.
Perfecto.
And I'm going to stop the stream now and I'll start a new one.
Awesome. You're the best.